as far as white people are concerned, doing ancestor work, going back, learning how to listen to the voices of our ancestors, which are still present. They're actually banging on the door to try and speak to us at this point, because things are getting really, really hectic and really chaotic and confusing in our world at a rapid pace. So to be able to go back and understand what happened to European people in the past, if you have European heritage, that involves grieving. So that's a huge piece of why I do a lot of grief work and a lot of grief ritual with people, because you can't do ancestor work without grief work. Those two things go hand in hand. Yeah, this is a call for people who are working in justice movements and working in liberation movements to, if you have identified as white, to really start questioning that and get to know your own ancestors. You're not actually inhabiting your own space in the movement. You're always reaching out towards doing something for someone else instead of just rooting into it from your own experience. Like, I understand, I remember, I have ancestral memory in my blood and bones of the gallows and the torture and the Romans coming and slashing down and burning and pillaging entire villages and forbidding us to speak our own languages. Like, those traumas are embedded into the European blood and bone and flesh. And I mean, I see this in my clients, right? Because we do ancestor work and we go way back. Once you allow yourself, instead of blocking up the grief, I call it sandbagging. It's like you have this river, or the tide is rising, and you're quickly like throwing all these sandbags to, keep the grief at bay. Once you start just like allowing the grief of that after so many thousands of years, sometimes it's thousands of years since this happened, right? To stop sandbagging and allow it to wash over you, then you can start understanding justice movements as that it involves you and your own people. And then you can actually serve the movement, because otherwise you show up and it's like there's no legs under you, there's no roots, and you can just topple someone like that right over. They'll fall out of the movement pretty easily unless they're committed from their own roots, right?